advanced revenue management, revenue arrangement approval routing. All right. So we've gone now to our next step, which is approval routing. Now you've got three options here. All right. Let's go and look at the suite answer. When you use approval routing, revenue recognition and reclassification journal entries cannot be generated until the revenue arrangement is approved. Perfect. So I'm convinced you wouldn't want it to be any other way. There are three ways to incorporate approval routing into revenue recognition processing. Approval routing accounting preference. This is the basic, most simple option. We use this option. When you use this option, two fields are added to the revenue arrangement: approval status and next approver. So for approval status, the default is pending. The other options are approved and rejected. By default, all users who can edit revenue arrangement can change the approval status. So it's going to depend here on your permission level, if you've got permission level edit. Next approver, by default, this field is blank. Users who can edit revenue arrangements can select any user in the system. Right, so this is essentially quite manual, but at least there is a process. Now, the next option is Revenue Recognition Approvals Workflow SuiteApp. The Revenue Recognition Approval Workflow is a managed SuiteApp that is available to all users of the Advanced Revenue Management feature. It manages the validation and approval routing of revenue arrangements. Formations, so let's have a very quick look there. Okay, well, there we go. Right, so here you can see more detail around that. The Revenue Recognition Approval Workflow manages the validation approval routing. Right. You can assign revenue recognition limits to determine if an arrangement requires approval and to identify the designated approval. So this is clearly already a pretty good step up. You can set up an approval hierarchy by designing a series of approvers, each with an assigned maximum approval limit. You can also customize a workflow to add and remove features based on business requirements. The Revenue Recognition Approval Workflow validates an arrangement based on the maximum total revenue limits that are assigned to reviewers and approvers. Right, so here you can see detail, availability. The Revenue Recognition Approval Workflow is available to all users. Limitations. Be aware of the following limitations. The multiple currencies feature is not supported. So this could potentially be, I'm guessing, a reasonably big issue. Approval limits align with the base currency of the account. All right, so for companies that are multinational, this might be a problem. I guess you could also always do the exchange rate calculation and just put those limits in the equivalent, right? The multi-book accounting feature is not supported because the workflow only supports single currency transactions. Right, so I would say from my experience, this is not bad. This is a pretty good option. Then your last option here is custom suite flow workflows. Right, so that is very powerful and you're going to be able to do pretty much anything you want to do, but it is complex and it's not going to be cheap, right? So if you can get away with this one, that would be the way to go. It's already there, you just got to set it up. This is a custom design, scripting, testing. This is a good bit of work involved here. But I would guess most complex organizations would ultimately go there. All three approval routing options require the following feature and accounting preference. Right, so you've got to advanced revenue management, and on accounting preferences, you've got to have approval routing on for revenue arrangements. So let's just see there.